You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
Your online radio, the new online radio that makes you happy.
This is Jaffrey Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jaffrey Radio.
Hello, viewers. We bless God for giving us another opportunity to meet you online with Jaffrey Radio Home Sweet Home program. Thank you for tuning in to Jaffrey Radio Home Sweet Home program. I always promise you nothing but the best. Today we have the very interesting topic. Just wait. Let me acknowledge my sponsors. And when I come back, I will let you know. This program is sponsored by Bayside Modeling Agency, the Church of Pentecost Japan, Zion Company Limited, Afro-Kids Japan, Simon Noble Solicitors, Turmeric Hotel, East Legon, Accra in Ghana, Willie Knox Jeans, and 1225 Jeans, the best clothing line in town. This program is also streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. All that we want you to do is to just like us and then share with your friends. And I tell you, you'll never regret you did, because we have a lot to offer. Our goal or our agenda for this program is every married couple enjoy the second heaven on air. So, you want your home to be sweet. So, just call your friends. Introduce this program to them. Share with them. And your friends will also enjoy second heaven in their marriages. Okay, the topic for today, we continue from where we left last week. We are talking about the stepchildren in our marriages. The stepchildren. Today we will talk a bit about the problems that we encounter as parents of the stepchildren, and also the feeling of the stepchildren also. So I have my able panelists with me here, and I tell you they are full of wisdom. And along the line we have a doctor from Canada who will join us and also bless us with the words that God has stored in Him for you. I mean, today you are blessed because it's a whole package. So let me introduce my panelists. There is a saying, ladies first, right? So I will skip the gentleman and go to the lady. I have my own sister. She is a deaconess. And also, there, should I say international or national women's ministry leader of the Church of Pentecost. She is the person of Mrs. Naomi Zoto Asare. Mama, you're welcome. But we missed you so much. It's been a long time. Yes. And you all know him. Our favorite, he said the children called him Diamond Prince. Our own brother, Elder P.O.D. Let me say this. Elder P.O.D., you can call him Diamond Prince. And I'm your host. My name is Abna Poma. You can call me Dickness Poma. We have our doctor. He will join us very soon. His name is Dr. Abena Ifa. Dr. Abena Ifa. He will join us straight from Canada. So today you are blessed. My able panelists. Today's topic, we are talking about the problems caused by stepchildren in our marriages. And it's in two folds. The children, the problems the parents face, those that are raising the stepchildren, and also the feeling of the stepchildren. The problems that brings or that comes up when we are raising stepchildren in our homes. Okay, so Mr. P.O.D. Yes. Now, this time round, I will change the direction. Okay? This time round, I'll change the narration. So, Diamond Prince.
I want
I
to.
think last week you were here, so I'm just. Yeah. So that Bobby will pick.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very
But
much.
I wish Auntie Naomi would start because it's long time people heard from her. So I wanted to give the platform to her so that she starts. Then I will just be supporting as usual. So I want the narrative to still maintain. Ladies first. So Auntie Naomi, because people, it's been a long time that we heard from you. So I want to break protocol if I'm permitted. And
What about if the permission is not granted?
for this one, just grant it.
Okay. Bobby, what do you think?
Okay, I'll take it.
I knew it. I saw it spiritually.
Because she's the mother.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So, as we started, you said,
In fact, I want you to say something to your viewers before you talk because you missed it so much.
oh, hello, cherished viewers. I really miss you. It's been quite a while due to some circumstances beyond my control that has made me impossible to join the program for almost 2 months now. But to God be the glory, everything is in place and I'm back. Thank you so much for always tuning in to Home Sweet Home because our main agenda is to make our home sweet like a second heaven.
That's right.
So God bless you and I urge you to continue to listen to Home Sweet Home
Metin kayo.
every Sunday,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, and back to our discussion. I as we said, our agenda is to make our homes very sweet, like the second home. The home, the second heaven. The home, as we know, is a garden. And a garden, we all know that weeds always comes out. Weeds.
One Africa, one world on a Jafric Radio.
I went to the train station. I wanted to take train. So there was this lady. She was looking at me. So I was thinking, like, okay, I think this is the best person to ask this question. Like, please, where is this? Where should I drop? The funniest part is that the way she ran, as if I have gone. Just like you have a child here, they are here, and they cannot go anywhere. So even if you want to take them to your country, it's going to be a big problem because of your wife might not accept it. The Japanese lady might not accept it because here I discovered that ladies are the owner of children. They have more power. I forgot my wallet in the train station inside the train. Before I even get to my house, because it was like 5 to 6 minutes walk to my house. My club called me that, hey, you forgot your wallet in the train. I was like, no, I didn't. How? I didn't. They said you forgot it, so I have to check my bag. It was not there. So they said, okay, you get it tomorrow. It was wrapped in the paper bag. Pray for me. It was like, wow. So when I was in Shizuoka, from the hotel, we take the bus. The bus
This is Jafric Radio.
Go to training. After training, take the bus back to the hotel. So no bicycle. But yeah, it's a bicycle. After training, like your hand is freezing.
One Africa, one world on a Jafric Radio. Are you an African living in Japan? Do you have a story to share about your experiences in this fascinating country? Join Emmanuel Atreku on One Africa, One World on Jafric Radio, the program that connects Africans in Japan and shares their unique stories, from immigration issues to cultural shocks and from racial challenges to unforgettable moments. We will explore it all. Tune in every fortnight to hear inspiring, thought-provoking, and sometimes humorous conversations about life as an African in Japan. Don't miss One Africa, One World on Jafric Radio, the voice of Africans in Japan. Are you an African?
Big Radio.
This is Jafric Radio.
The new online radio that makes you happy.
Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
Hello, family. Yes, this is your favorite program, Hope, Sweet Home, on Jafric Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jafric Radio, Home, Sweet Home program. Yes, thank you so very much. Yeah, you know what I want you to do right now? Yes, if you have tuned in, just share the link with your friends and loved ones. Let them also be part of this wonderful program. Yes, I always told you that this program, we have only one motive, that we want every marriage couple enjoy the second heaven on earth. The second heaven on earth. So the things that will help us to enjoy heaven on earth is what we bring to the table all the time. So thank you so much. Thank you. And share with your friends and your loved ones. Yes, I just want you to know that Bayside Modeling Agency is sponsoring Home Sweet Home program. Bayside Modeling Agency is in Tokyo, on Motesando to be precise. And if you are a foreigner and you are a model, or you have any talent that you want to work with, please don't hesitate to contact Bayside Modeling Agency at info at bay-side.base. Info at bay-side.base. All that we want you to do is just send us a mail that you are interested to register with us. And they have a very wonderful staff that respond to your mails and also communicate with you through phone calls. All right. And also we have Turmeric Hotel. Turmeric Hotel is at East Legon in Accra, Ghana. So if you want to visit Ghana and you want a nice place to stay, please contact Turmeric Hotel at www.turmerichotel.com, and they will also welcome you. It's home away from home. You will never regret you did. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, today I would like to introduce to you my panelists. And today's topic is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And it will go a long way to help you and I in our marriage. Okay. So, I am going to introduce to you my favorite, wonderful and beautiful mother. We say ladies first. She is a mother of two. All right? A married woman, a deaconess, and the national women's ministry leader in Japan, here, the Church of Pentecost Japan. She is the person of, should I add Reverend Gigi? Deaconess Mrs. Naomi Asari Zoto. Mama, God bless you.
God bless you.
And you are welcome to Home Sweet Home
Thank
program.
you very much.
All right. And hey, viewers, I have with me a wonderful counselor. A wonderful counselor. I tell you, he is a counselor. And also very intelligent man, full of wisdom. I mean, you know. As soon as you see his face, you will know that what I'm saying is true. Yes. He is a brother, a father, a friend. His name is Mr. Jichi Mensah. Friend. Good afternoon, Mr. Frank. You're welcome to Home Sweet Home program.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much. It's our pleasure to have you here. Right. Okay, so viewers, you know the panelists right now, Mama Naomi and Mr. Jichi. Okay. Right. So let's go to today's topic. Very interesting. Okay. listening more effectively in marriage. It's you. This time round, we are talking about listening and listening more effectively in a marriage. Listen more effectively in our marriage. So let's go to our resource persons to ask them their opinions and their ideas about listening. So, mommy, why is this ladies first? I don't want to change the narration. It's ladies first, right? Always ladies first. But we are the last bombs. Yeah. So, what is listening? And is it important?
Yeah.
Topic to talk about.
I think I'll take the last question. Listening is very important.
Okay.
Yes, there was one of these days when I went to class, I asked my students, what are some of the things that make marriage successful? And some of the things that they said is good communication, hard working, patience, sharing same interests, having same lifestyle. And when we pick the out of communication, good communication, for you to be able to have good communication in marriage, it means you have to listen very well. Yes, before you can communicate very well to bring peace and to make your marriage successful. Listening is one of the pivots on which marriage stands. So yes, I would say listening is one of the most important things in a happy marriage.
Oh, wow. In a happy marriage.
Yes.
Mommy has qualified in a happy marriage. All right, so listening is very, very important. Mr. Jeche, do you think that listening is... So, if it is, yes.
Yeah, because
How?
listening is important. It's in normal communication. If you don't listen, that means you don't hear what the person is saying.
Okay.
And that means there's no transmission of that verbal language.
Okay.
And in this case, say if you don't listen, you don't hear what the other side is saying. And listening is very important. Whether say you first have to listen, because normally at the end now, you are going to digest
That's right.
the words that is coming through the other end.
Okay.
And on the way, it is one tier. If you don't listen, that means you are not making the relationship good or effective.
Wow. If you don't listen,
This is Jafric Radio.
means you are not making the relationship good. Okay, so it's all the time that listening is important. For example, when you hear, all that you hear is about complaining, and this is this, and this is that. When the complaints are keeping coming, is it good to listen to it at all?
Well, you don't know why the complaint is coming. So listening effectively plays a very important role when it comes to dealing with issues in marriage. You are saying that, is it important, maybe the person is always complaining, is it important to listen to it? Yes, you will listen for you to be able to know how to react to the complaint. Most of the time, the most problems we have in our marriages is because we are not able to listen and listen effectively. Yes, we all can listen, because when somebody is talking right now, people are listening to me. But there are so many ways that we listen.
Okay.
And most of the time, it is rather unfortunate that when it gets to the marriage, we don't have that kind of listening ears to our spouses. You realize that sometimes you are at home and you are trying to share something with your husband or with your wife. He or she is doing something different, but immediately that person receives a call. Can I pick this call? If maybe the person is watching the TV, you might tell the wife or the husband, can you reduce the volume so that I could hear what the other person is saying? Meanwhile, before that call came in, you were maybe discussing something with your husband or with your wife, but the person wasn't even looking at you to see what you are even saying. The person is just watching his or her TV, or the person is having his or her iPhone with him, just either browsing or doing whatsoever. Meanwhile, you are talking. But immediately a call comes in, oh, I need to pick this up. Sometimes the person might even excuse you and go to receive the call. And what you hear, laughing heartily, chatting, heart to heart, those kind of things. Then you ask yourself, what is going on? No matter what the person is saying, for you to be able to react to what the person is saying, you need to listen and listen effectively.
Wow. You need to listen and listen effectively. And there is one thing that what I call it a friend and at the same time an enemy. In our age, in our time, the mobile phone, it has caused a lot of problems, especially watching movie on phone, chatting with friends, chatting on Facebook, and a lot of people are complaining in their marriages. It's rather unfortunate. A friend of mine, he was always complaining about the attitude of the wife, rather that the woman is a social media woman, and it's unfortunate that the marriage, they have broke up now because he couldn't bear it anymore. Because when the woman said, when the lady is watching the movie or chatting with friends, laughing, she doesn't even care to listen to him. So he thought that he's a stranger in his own home. So I called the mobile phone a friend and enemy at the same time. Because sometimes we are so much glued to the phone than most of the communications that we do with our spouses. So I think we need to also address this issue very well. Those that have made the mobile phones their companions instead of their wives and their husbands. Right. So is there anything that mommy want to say about how nowadays, at first it wasn't like that, but now phone has become our everything, and we visit at any point in time. We can chat with our friends, we can do all sorts of things while we don't even listen to what the other party is saying.
Well, as I said, you see, from the beginning, I made mention of some things that make marriage a happy one, and like communication,
yes,
sharing common interests. So most of the time, maybe you see, most marriage or most couples, they have, I don't know whether intentionally or unintentionally, gotten different interests.
Okay.
They don't share the same interests. Maybe my interest is in tennis.
Okay.
My husband's interest is in soccer.
Okay.
So I want to watch tennis on the TV. Maybe we have one TV. I also want to watch soccer. So what do? Okay, take the TV whilst I watch my soccer on my computer or on my phone. So lack of shared or common interest also cause that thing that we are so much glued to our mobile phones, our computers, and some other things that makes it so difficult for us to have time together. And how we can overcome those things is that to plan activities, common interest activity that can bring the two of us together, not activities that we have to be interested in each other's interests. What I'm interested in, join me to enjoy it. Things that you are also interested in, let me also join you so that we enjoy it together. So having a shared or common interest, it will bring us together rather than tearing us apart.
And one thing that I would like to add to what you have said is sometimes we need to also communicate very well with the other party, especially when
This is Jafric Radio.
fan and your husband is a tennis fan. You have to explain the game, how it goes to the other, so that when the person is totally understand what the game is, the person might develop interest. And then, but sometimes we don't. Oh no! If you just want to watch yourself,
we are not ready to.
And when they are watching, just like you can't even. Their focus is on what they are watching. And even if something happens and you want to come and talk about it, it's like you are making noise. Keep quiet. I need to watch. Yeah, so we need to also train ourselves and also help the other parties to also come along with what we are interested in. Mr. Jiche, interest as a party.
I'm listening, but like we're saying all the time, when it comes to marriage couples, the basics is the love. When the love is not there, anything can happen. And like you're saying, some people just get glued to the handphone and stick with that for a long time. Whatever you are doing, whether you're listening to your husband, your wife, or whatever it is, you are paying attention to that particular thing. Now, anyone to divide your attention over two things at the same time, it's difficult. That's what I'm saying. If you have a relationship with your husband, then you have to make sure, say, anytime each of you is speaking, the other has to pay attention. So let me try it. And in case you are talking to my wife and I keep on reading this, it's like what I'm saying myself now. I've not thought about it. I'm just saying, so she can do whatever. In this case, now I can complain, say she's not listening. And I also say, if I'm talking to her and she's not listening, she just keep on doing something different. Definitely, she's not going to hear what I'm saying, and she'll do different things. And the subjects here discussed here two different things. That's right. Paying attention to the phone and paying attention to the communication, the verbal communication between you and your spouse or your friend. Listening is important because maybe in school, for example, now I quite remember I said there was one English mistress of kind said, even say, when you or if you say, oh, you're stupid, and I say the most unvaluable thing, but just listen to the person.
That's right.
Because listening it itself is education. If you are saying you are all calm, now I strike your attention on some important subject. Now they're teaching, oh, okay. Then you go and refer it. You have studied something from me, all calm. Down to the final. Because you're a valueless person, look at that person has taught you something. So imagine, say, if you didn't listen to that person, there's a big example going on in Ghana right now. Or maybe so you're serious or that hospital. Now, 1 year almost, no matter what doctor can say on the Abaran bone. Now, also one day, almost it's all down for the hospital, and you were saying. No BIS or plan they were down for me. No, certain not take the whole Utina or young chest of down for Kata. Also, again, you have many
This is Jafric Radio.
I feel no man cry, don't pay attention. It will come quickly. Be said, modern day too. You say you ain't far from when I'm to our, but not for no could pay attention. Could tea no come. Or could feel catching on. No, the say no bank also can be seen. No, not for no matter defending. To could feel catching on. So no crazy even this year. Into a perform more than about down from the camp. Or burn and
Oh wow.
Obani declares that Obi no. Me no can say Obi was steady by the work clinical Ghana.
My goodness.
Until you see, think the art of listening. Going here, and listening is very important. Not only your spouse, but forever. Just here. Say, your camera is irrelevant. Okay, then you can let it go. But at least TMB. Next time will be can we be a you've learned something from there. No a friend. That's when it comes between in the case of your spouse, it should be very, very important for you to listen to your spouse.
There are sometimes you may even you don't even need an answer from the person. But you just want the person to listen to you. Others may be in pain that they just want to bring out what is troubling them. Then they need, the one that they are communicating with to listen.
Yeah.
So if someone is in pain and the person wants to talk to you and you just, your attention is on something else, you are not helping.
Yeah. Some people, even whilst you are talking, they've even started imagining the answers in their head. Yeah, before we go there, first you ask the question when you started, you say, what is listening? When you look at the Oxford Language Dictionary, it says that listening is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. To accurately receive, you have to receive it first before you'll be able to interpret it. If you don't take your time to receive it, your interpretation might be wrong, and it will create so many things. If you read the Bible, Proverbs 18 verse 13, it says, "The one who gives an answer before he listens, this is foolishness and disgrace for him." You answer before you listen. But you see that even looking at us, you have to listen twice as much as you speak. So you see that James said it. He said, "My dear brethren, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." So with these verses, you see that God in his own wisdom have created 2 ears and 1 mouth. We have to listen twice as much as we speak. You have to accurately receive the message. So back to what I was saying, some of us, before the message comes, we have already hijacked it.
Now I treated myself.
The person has not yet landed, but you have already imagined what the person is about to say. Meanwhile, that is not it. If you had been very patient to listen to what the person is saying, it wouldn't have gotten to that side. So he says that he who gives an answer before he listens, the person is foolish and is a disgrace to himself.
Oh my, this is too harsh. Foolish and disgrace.
Yeah, and this listening that we are talking about, it is a skill we need to learn. Yes. Maybe I can say, I can listen more. You can say you know how to listen. You can say you know how to listen. But if we enter very well, you see that maybe in one way or the other, you have fallen short. So it is a skill that we need to learn, how to listen.
I think how to listen, Japanese people are very good.
They listen, and I mean, their body language tells you that they are just unresponding. Okay. So if Kel must not be taking, when you go back to your career,
let me say something. Japanese ability, of course, they have ability to listen, but that body language reaction, not you are.
It's fake.
Well, I'm not saying it's fake, but I'm saying. We can look at that and say they are very attentive.
Attentive, okay.
Yes,
I get it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's fake, but we can just judge them by that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've worked with some of them and I'll be talking over the same issue. After some few minutes, respond kind of interactive with you. Yeah. But after second,
they'll come again. You are right.
That means you didn't listen to what they said.
Listen, but didn't pay attention to what you were saying.
Well, but they were saying, Nado. They were saying, then all of a sudden they come back again. As they said,
it will make you feel that the person is listening.
Like she's saying, listening equals being able to digest it and process it. That's effective listening. Yeah. So you can't judge them by their body language because of that they are listeners.
Right. You are right.
Listeners has to be effective.
Yeah. So somebody says
just as the topic.
Yes, has to be very effective. And depending on the language that you use, you can use a language in Japanese for it to mean the same thing in Ashanti. It will be different. So it depends on the person listening. He has to digest it, process it, for the language to mean either an insult or just a jovial language. You see, there can be so many instances. So listening attentively, paying attention is very, and developing that skills, as the Dickness is saying to you, is very important. You need to develop that skill.
Yeah. So I think before one can also listen, it means that the person understands the language that you are talking with. For example, if I married, let's say, Japanese, and I can't speak Japanese very well. I can't understand. Can the listening go well if you marry somebody with different kind of language?
Yes, it can go well because you have come together. If you have met or you have married based on a separate subject, which could be either love. So in that case, the person is going to study your instincts, your way of doing things, your way of communicating, the way of language usage. She's going to develop skills based on that to listen to you at all times. You see, so it's possible. That's something. It depends on the platform on which you people have come together. You see. Otherwise, we wouldn't have people from different countries and other countries coming together as friends.
Yeah, one of my friends is strongly against these things, that he will not allow his children to marry from the different tribe, the different language that they cannot communicate well with.
I think that I agree with her so much. Because if I use myself as an example with my children, now they are so much used into the Japanese language, and it is very difficult to bring them to order. So, like looking at that kind of situation, I don't think it will be, yes, it is possible. It is possible, but it is a difficult one. You need to understand each other very well. You need to speak the same language. When I say the same language, not just like maybe English to English, account to account, but the same language in so many things. Your actions, your inactions, everything. You need to speak the same language to be able to have a very wonderful relationship.
That's right.
So I think it is very important.
Yeah, like I said, it depends on the platform on which you people have met. You see, so of course, when there is love, communication is very important. But when there is love, something has to attract both of you together. You see, so it's both up to both of you to develop the skills to communicate with one another. People have married from different backgrounds and they have been successful.
Yeah.
People have married from different backgrounds and have not been successful.
Yeah.
So it's not easy to conclude that. I mean, people from different languages have difficulties in marriage. It's not, we can't just conclude that. That's why I said earlier that it depends on how you have come together,
Yes.
and you both have to develop a skill to listen to one another. Let me come in with one example. When I was in Nigeria, and one of my good friends was from Okwapaman Secondary School, we were teaching.
Okay.
Yes, English in one of these Nigerian schools. And there was a girl who said she was from Togo. She wasn't a teacher actually. She spoke only French. Yeah, but her intention was that Ghanaians would learn French, somehow French in school. Of course, my friend was very good at it, but not to the point of teaching. For some reason, these two guys developed love for themselves. At the beginning, we were saying, well. And the girl too, one thing too, she spoke Ewe.
Okay.
Because this Togolese people speak Ewe. So she was very fluent. And my friend, she didn't speak any of this. Even his French too, I'm saying it was good, better than mine, but it was nothing. So these people have tough times, listening to one another.
Yeah.
But they could, hook up with one another for a long time.
They tried.
They tried very, very well. And if you see them coming, you won't imagine that they are from different backgrounds. And they were able to get along.
Yeah.
You see? So that's what I'm saying. It depends on.
It depends.
Yes, how you come together.
And also, that's where the actions also come in.
Body language.
Body language. Because some people also married, let's say, those who cannot speak. The deaf.
Okay, what about that?
Yeah. But they do their signs. Yeah. So I think listening is not even hearing with your ears alone, but your eyes must also.
It's part of communication.
It's part of
your feelings, everything.
Yeah. So if you are listening, you have to listen effectively.
Yes.
Pay attention.
So you can be able to digest it well.
Digest it well. So if you don't listen, how can you even give a proper answer?
How can you? So like somebody said, to improve your listening skill is to improve your marriage. To improve your listening skill is to improve your marriage. Let us say maybe there are some categories of things or characteristics of bad listeners. If you fall under this, then you know that you are a bad listener. You know, there are some people, they are the advice givers. Sometimes they are the advice givers.
Okay.
For example, I've come back from work and I'm trying to share my experience at work with you. The advice giver, instead of listening, will try to, how will I say, to sort out the problem. Maybe I have encountered some problem. I'm telling you, today when I went to school, there is this teacher. He's so mean. He doesn't respect, and I don't know what to do. Okay, then the advice giver will come with his or her advice. But in real sense, maybe what I'm looking for is to sympathize with me. Oh, really? That should be very hard for you. Or maybe I don't go to work, I'm at home. And when you came back, as my husband, you came back from work, I'm trying to tell you how the children have been so naughty. How maybe as I was washing the dishes, I broke some glasses, I broke some plates and those kind of things. I'm just trying to say, to relieve some stress so that you sympathize with me. But the advice giver will just say, you need to be careful next time. You need to assign the children to do this, to do that, so the person is trying to come to tell me what I need to do. Maybe I have done all those things, but it didn't work. The reason why I'm telling you is just for you to listen to me and sympathize with me. That should be hard for you, but the advice giver will not do that. We just give. Maybe so the following day he comes back, I give him the same experience. So you ask me, what I told you yesterday, did you do it? I told you to be very careful when you are washing the dishes. The next day he comes again and I tell the same thing. So if I'm telling you you should be very careful and you are not careful, please don't tell me anything again. That is not a good listener.
Okay.
The advice giver.
All right, I think this was it's communication skills, right? Yeah.
Listening.
Yes.
And let me well, if we have to talk about subjects of communication or listening, probably we should separate couples from ordinary relationships. Because with couples, these are people who live together, live as one, see themselves all the time. So there is always going to be a precondition for one of them to respond to the other at all times. See, there's going to be a precondition based on something. You see, so when you talk about couples, unless those conditions are met or satisfied all the time, the person will prejudge you.
Okay.
Like in the speech, you said maybe you're talking to somebody, you needed somebody to listen to you, to sympathize with you, but rather he came in with sort of criticisms or sort of advices. And there was a precondition over somewhere there.
Okay.
Maybe there was something there she studied within the attitude, knowing that because of that,
This is Jafric Radio.
It can also trigger what has happened. Okay.
So he doesn't seem. I mean, she doesn't feel good to listen to what you are saying and sympathize with you, because to him or to her, shouldn't that condition have been there, you wouldn't have experienced.
You wouldn't have experienced.
Yeah, so when it comes to couples, for me, we need to look at the couple situation more closely or more differently, a little bit
than generalized.
To generalize it.
Okay.
That's why I'm always saying with couples, when there's love, that should be the beginning. When the love is not there, believe me, because you live together, you are one, you see yourself together. The secret part of both of you has been already exposed to one another. So you know one secret. And knowing that, meaning that you've conditioned your fellow attitudes, what do you call it? Paradigm within your own system. So whatever he says, you have a precondition within you that can judge what he's saying.
Maybe you are a woman fighter. Every time your husband, hey, you just want to fight. So when you go outside and you come back to the house to report of the fight that happened,
instead of person sympathizing with that,
you are a fighter.
So
you know, sometimes to our how we think. Sometimes to it is not really what is on the ground. But because we have made tune our mind to see that. Maybe I've heard a friend of mine. She's always peace because she said, do I nag? I don't understand that word nagging. But anytime small thing, my husband will say, you nag too much. I don't know, even the nagging they are talking about, I don't even know what it is. But the little thing my husband says, you nag so much, you don't respect, you don't easily apologize. But so to me, I feel maybe the person, the husband or the wife has tuned up the mind to see the wife like that. Meanwhile, on the ground, that is not how maybe he or she is.
See the experience that the man has gone through with her. That one, sometimes when you're doing something, you might think it is good. That is who I am, and this is how I do my things. I like it this way. But it might go a long way to affect the other party. And one thing what we are talking about, one you might not know yourself very well, but the things that people say to you, you have to also take a close look at them.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes.
But when it comes to, you see that there are some languages as couples, you need to avoid certain languages.
You nag too much.
Yes,
complain.
you don't do this. You are so lazy. You don't respect.
Well,
But
No,
in
those
reality,
languages,
yeah,
those
it's
languages, we should try as much as possible not to say it. Maybe instead of you saying you don't respect, how about maybe what the person did that you didn't like? Oh my dear, you did this thing and I think it is not the right thing. Why not you? Why can't you do it this way? Instead of you don't. So like maybe sometimes our language,
Yes, the polite way.
the polite way of saying certain things. So maybe that, as I was saying, that the person said you nag so much, you do this. So maybe because of that, when you came home, I'm trying to share my day with you. Instead of you to listen to me and know where I'm coming from, no, you are trying to just listen to give me advice. But maybe that very moment, it isn't.
This is Jafric Radio.
For advice. I'm just looking for sympathy. Or sometimes there are some people too, they are the interrupters.
Yeah.
As I'm talking,
Will not make me finish.
just interrupt. And most of us, we are very, very, when it comes to that aspect, I am one of them. The interrupters. Before the person starts, you've already read into it and you know where he or she is going. And you just, meaning baby, I will call. Then you just interrupt. Most of the time, it doesn't help.
I think seeing that this is who I am means that you can do something about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you identify, it's easy for you to have solutions to that. So I think we must also develop self-consciousness when things like that happen. So if the other party is talking and just about to say something, you have to just pause, think about it before you react.
Yeah, so you see that the interrupters, they are not, they don't listen, they don't listen
very well.
Yes, they just listen to reply
halfway and then we jump in. At first I was like that. Oh my goodness.
I listen to understand. They just listen to reply.
But now I've changed.
Well, see, like I said, when it comes to couples, we can have a lot to talk about. You need to separate them.
That's right.
You see, for me to go to the extent of using a word like nag, as she's saying, that means something has been going on for some time.
Sometimes
I'm a spouse
not
that I don't
happy about.
Yes. Because nagging means someone will just complain, won't do anything.
Complain.
Somebody who's always criticizing.
Yes.
But according to the lady, she doesn't do that complaining, criticizing, but always the husband says that I am.
So it's like self-eccentric person who think that what she does all the time is perfect. It's usually a North American English. See, so when somebody uses the word that you nag too much and all those kind of things, that means something has been going on.
Meaning you complain too much.
Complaining, criticizing, condemning, not accepting what is wrong with you, and you just talk about somebody or asking somebody to do something. You see,
but I think it's a bad language.
Nagging is one of the things that I hate too much.
It's not a positive language.
It's not a positive language.
Yes.
So I
but I
think
don't like
couples should prevent it. I think it should be out
that's what I'm saying. For me to go to the extent, that means my spouse is becoming a recalcitrant. That means she's somebody who does not listen.
Okay.
After all advices and all sort of correction, she still doesn't listen. She does what she wants. But perhaps she's your spouse that you cannot just walk out and say, I'm divorcing. So it comes to a point of verbal abuse or verbal sort of fighting. So when you get to that point, that is where you hear somebody using the word like nag, complaining against the spouse. You get a point. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to couples, communication is, of course, is very, very, very important. And
very important.
it all has to be based on love. Otherwise, you don't have to use those languages for your spouse.
Exactly.
It's not good. It's not positive. It's not encouraging. Because the Bible says, try and encourage one another. You see, yeah. So we need to, you know.
But sometimes it's also very. I don't want to use. It's very stressful when like you find yourself in someone who complains a lot. It's very stressful. Like everything that this person has done this person has done this,
and sometimes you realize that those people who complain, they are the cause. The greater part comes.
Yeah, I sometimes it's just you can't. It's like shocking. Yeah. So it's very it's not good to nag. Yeah, it's not good to do things like that. But we should be. That's why I say self-consciousness. There are certain things, especially when the other spouse is telling you, it's as nowadays you complain too much. What is the problem? You have to,
you don't have to use the word complaining before. You just have to sit with your spouse. You see, then talk about issues. It can start with plain methods. You get my point. I said the other day that, well, let me refer. The other day we were talking about, intimacy between relationships, and I think I did mention things like you have to create an atmosphere.
That's right.
For it to come. For example, if I'm with her at home all the time, of course I have to give it the due respect I want. But maybe, particularly, I won't leave her. Maybe I can start in the morning. Oh, yeah, let me feel. I mean, those kind of things. If I do it,
no, you say somewhere.
You don't start it immediately.
Exactly.
It can start from the morning time. And so if you have, we also can be changed through that plain method, friend, what I do no more dear say
This is Jafric Radio.
We are the back action. There's also tea and apple yet. We January we find
na me so for be tie cancel what say obi be catch us say akwa we dey sabi no kwase apa obeka nipa no abaji say sani obeka no but the same way do we come kwase yeah so it's the way you say there was a time one a friend called me. If you are speaking the way the vim that you use and the kind of words how strong and powerful it makes, if it's an insult, the person will die.
Will die before his or her time, right? Wow.
But if it is a blessing, the person will receive most. I want to bless for that. Yeah, and I saw it as one of my Okay, all right. We have a lot of messages coming, so we're going to read the messages and we'll respond to the messages. Hey, Mr. Pia, thank you so much. Oh, someone say I like your hairstyle.
Correct.
My goodness, just you see, we'll talk about it. And we have one from Mr. Asiel. So listening shows you are engaged and interested in what your partner has to say. Listening also entails paying attention to your own and your partner's body language. Eye contact is especially important to show you care. Reading your partner's body language can give you clues as to how she or he feels. Also, listen is a sacrificial thing because not all the time you feel to listen, but you have to make time to listen when your partner wants to talk to you. Big ups, Rose. Hey, Rose is the wife. Let me say it. I will say it strongly. The friend who is listening to it know that this word is strong. Rose is the wife. The wife. Say Rose and my kids, Joe and AC. Oh, Rose. Rose and Issy. Joe. Daddy misses you so much. Okay, so that's what Mr. Isel brought, and I think it's very true. Yeah, and a very, very good point. That you don't listen with just your ears. Pay attention.
Pay attention. So when you're listening at the same time, using this, like I said before.
In fact, this thing here, we need to talk about it very well. It's happening.
Well, like somebody said. That's not it. First, you disrespect the person.
Yeah, it's disrespect. Yeah.
Disrespectful acts.
You are right.
There was a time this year when you could do trade messages. I see a dear Nakumuchi, Oba Uchifanaswa, Uchifanaswa, or Casanova Malay, which you have a sushi now.
It doesn't show respect.
And they will be
yeah, it doesn't show respect. Yeah.
So it means that whatever is coming, you have to pay attention and listen to it very well. But how about, let's see, the person, the other party is abusing you, like verbal abuse. Others choose to walk out and just go elsewhere to cool down before coming in. So that one, it is good to just go away when the other party is, starting with that verbal abuse.
So
did you get me clear? Your partner. Yeah.
I'm saying, no. Say, no partner na that issue now. Don't forget, the other person want to meet now. Say, who say they are physical abuse, maybe I want jump to stop you people. But it started with maybe language. They don't know where it's coming from. Of course, they will excuse you people. And to say, get to a point, if you want to from one side, maybe turning to physical abuse.
No, I'm talking to both, like the couple.
So
one is complaining, insulting, and you don't want to maybe listen, because if maybe you listen to the end, you might end up abusing the person physically. So to avoid that, you want to go out.
And me, for instance, I'm an example of that. Because when pattern, say once one started using you now, she's not ready to listen to you. She only wants to say her part. Now, by the time she finishes, whatever you say, probably she won't get it. It will end up bringing sort of physical abuse, and I say extending the more intensive verbal language. And you know, you want to avoid it. First, you want to cool it down. If you're cooling it down, you can say, oh, what did you do? You go there, you waste time.
You know, especially when it comes to the husband, you know that one too is also another offense.
Yes.
That I'm talking and you walk out on me.
No, it's not walking out on you. Say, I won't just walk out. I'll tell you, oh, honey, I forgot to get something. Let me.
So it means what I'm saying is not important.
No, I'll say, I'll come and listen to you. I will have time for you. See, I'll have time for you, but please let me get that item before the store closes or before it gets late.
But others don't even talk like that. They just pick up their shirts and walk out because they don't want to listen.
Well, when it gets to a point, when it gets to a point that one has to start the conversation with abuse, the other two will respond. That's kind of disrespectful act because there has been a precondition that has set that platform up. You get the point. So definitely, you both have to give yourself a cooling system. So for that, it can be avoided because you don't expect.
The one may say you are coward. Anytime.
It's better if I think if I'll be called a coward to make peace to prevail.
Okay.
I will do.
Because when somebody is sort of angry, that moment he can use every language, do whatever. But like I said, I'll talk to you in a moment, but give me time before the stuff goes. I know that in an hour time she would cool down.
But if a woman does this to a husband,
Yeah.
Would that be okay?
As for the husbands,
As for the husbands, it's easy for them to walk away.
Yeah.
When there's a heat.
But the
argument in
wives-
the house. But as soon as the wife does that, becomes a problem.
yeah, you are right. You are really, really right.
I don't see the kind of problem that it becomes.
Yeah, but most of the time, for me, before I have problem with that. Why certain things when men do, it is okay, but when women do it, it is not. So what me myself, I'm not saying that is it. Myself, I have realized that God created us in a special way. The reason why I am saying that is yes, we are refined. Because the man was created from the dust of the earth, and out of that man, the woman was taken. So double refinery. So to me, I have understood it in a way that things that a man would do and will get away with, if a woman does that, it is a very serious crime. So as a woman, I have to make sure that I try to do the right thing better than the man, because I see myself as a double refinery. I might do something I will not be forgiven, even if the angels themselves come down, I will never be forgiven. So I need to be extra careful on how I behave, what I do and what not to do. Yeah. So to me,
when it comes to cheating, Ada will say, my husband has cheated me, so I will also cheat.
The man will be forgiven.
It's not a woman.
The woman is not forgiven.
A man, for the women, no matter how, no matter the situation, you are the mothers of the house.
You see?
So you own the family.
Yeah, that's it. Please, women, listen. They say we own the family.
Yes, the women own the family. So if a woman should walk on the husband in God, you are living behind your things.
Your things.
Your kids, your husband, yes. Being the owner of the family, you are walking out. Now, who do you expect to take care of?
You see? So if
It's possible that the man can just walk away and leave everything there.
So if I understand you well, the man is the head.
Yes.
But the woman owns the family.
Yes.
So managers, right?
We own. Yes, we are the CEOs.
The women are the owners.
We are the CEOs of the family.
Of course.
So it means if the family succeeds, it depends on us.
So behind every successful man, there is a woman.
God has given women some spirit that men will provide. Because I cannot take care of children and grow them. A woman can do that. We don't have that spirit to do that. So if you have seen in real life, children who grew up with their fathers and children who grew up with their mother, you can see the difference.
Yeah, you are right.
You see? So men, we don't have that spirit. So the woman, you own the family.
We own the family, so it means we have a bigger responsibility.
Very big responsibility. We are the head, we are the providers, we are the security men in the house, finance and everything in the house. But literally,
we are the architect of everything.
You men have to own the family. That's why when there is a family without a woman, you can
This
tell.
is Jafric Radio.
The children that comes out.
Okay, let's listen to what this Jamila Musa. She said, sometimes when you correct men, they feel so bossy and intend try to tag you with a word that will hurt you.
Wow. Do you know?
If you try to correct them,
she's right. Do you know the reason why I said that? No. Let's go back to the Genesis. You see that when Adam and Eve they disobeyed God, when God tried to confront, what happened? There was chaos. Men don't like confrontation. No. They don't like that. So when he was confronted, he tried to say something that would hurt God, that would hurt him. I didn't ask you to create a woman for me. But when God did it first, I said, wow, this is the bone of my bone and the flesh of my flesh. And he even went ahead and gave her a name. But when the problem came and he was confronted, he rather got angry and said, you caused it.
The woman
the woman that you brought. It means I didn't ask for that. So I think men, naturally, that's how they are made. So you cut them at their, how will I say it? At a good time. Okay. You know your husband.
Yeah.
So catch them at a time that you could address issues. If you go direct, even God himself didn't get it easy. How much
we
less?
might employ this, the wisdom of Nathan.
The wisdom of Nathan.
When he went to David to confront him over difficult and a delicate issue. Yeah, what he did. So, women, we need to act more wisdom.
Yes,
God
wisely
in times of dealing with issues like this. Yeah, just.
We need to cut them at their right time.
Sometimes it depends also the relationship that you have with your spouse. Others, they are so open to each other. They talk. So when things are not going well, you can easily come in and say, oh, honey, this one, you didn't do well. Please, next time, don't let it happen.
And it depends on the time you say that.
But others, when we are talking, how dare you, especially African men, some of them, you are a woman, you don't have much ideas like men do. So when men are talking, you need to shut up. Let me think, let me reason the best things that I should. Hey, at the end of the day, it's come back. All right. So listening is very, very important.
Men don't like confrontation, so we have to be very careful how we confront them, when and how. It's very important.
When they are in their good time.
Exactly.
Good mood. Yes. Okay, let's also go to Mr. Yaya. Mr. Yaya says, stop thinking about what you don't want, and it will never come to you. Stop thinking about what you don't want, and it will never come to you. Communication. Please, Mr. JJ, what is the right time for couples to have effective communication? Is there such an appropriate time for couple? Please educate us.
Well,
Mr. Yaya.
Well, it depends on
Mr. Yaya. Aiko.
The communication can be there all the time, but it depends on the kind of topic that you want to pick.
Okay.
Normally, any human being will listen to you when that person is relaxed, or that person is in a relaxing mood. You see, when you take couple, for example, normally after evening work, when we have finished the dinner, kids have finished their schoolwork and about to go to sleep. Of course, there's sometimes some little time for the couples to be together. So that could be a right time. In the evening, let's say after 8 o'clock at night, you can see that the kids will be ready to go to bed because they finished their homework. Dinner is done. The woman too probably has finished her work in the day, and you two will probably finish your work. So you people will be sort of relaxing. That could be a good time if you have serious issues to discuss. It probably could be a good time, to call your spouse and begin mentioning those issues.
This is Jafric Radio.
It's so much long that you couldn't finish at once. You being the man, you can break it within yourself. They know from where that you were talking to your wife upon it, then you stop, then you come back another time. Within the same time. You see? So it depends on the subject that you're going to discuss. Let's say a typical example. You have a child who is probably in the high school going to enter the university, and you would need support or enough money to sponsor the child. So you need to break this issue. You're going to talk with your wife to see how much the family has in coffers to support the education. Or you're probably going to think about how you can borrow from the government or whatever organization to help support the child. See, this is an issue that you have to take it cool with one another. So you probably cannot finish the subject all at once within a day. So you the man, you can break it within yourself. So today, let's talk about the performance of our daughter or our child. So today you take your time and you analyze the performance, bring your wife or your spouse attention to the point that he or she agrees that yes, it's good that we send a child to university. This could be the first part. So the next time you come in, now we have agreed to send the child to university. So what next? Finance. So you think about your finances. You probably have a budget for education. If not, then you have to create one. So you can discuss that issue. So you come to a point that yes, we've now agreed to how you're going to sponsor the child. You see? Then the next time you can come, then what steps are you going to take? You see? So it depends on the subject that yes, you want to discuss. Otherwise, the communication between spouses can be there every day and all the time. You see, you don't wait till the bedtime before you begin talking about issues. See, like I'm always saying, the bedtime issue should be something that should be done unconsciously. That's my thinking. Because if the atmosphere is already there, you see, there's no need to struggle about for someone to say no and all this. It has to be natural.
That one is true, but it depends also. Especially, it's not. I mean, sometimes I have a problem with this. Like, it shouldn't be any time you're so happy talking together that things has to happen that way.
Sometimes should be the hard way to work.
No. Not the hard way, but sometimes maybe you are tired. You cannot do it, but yet you have to communicate nice to your spouse.
Yeah, but communication nice doesn't
most of the time when it goes well, the communication goes very well.
It should be a natural attraction.
Up to something else.
Of course, that's why I'm saying that. It has to be natural.
Wow, to add to what our dear brother said concerning Mr. Yaya's question, when is the best time to communicate, right? Yeah, I think a time that you don't create, you don't get it. So the two of you have to create a time within the day to communicate. Either the end of the day, as he said, maybe you've planned that every day, an hour before bedtime, we need to share each other's day, how it went, if we have something special to talk about, or maybe if it is once in 3 days, once a week, in a week, a day together only with you. And so it depends on the couple. You have to plan time together to talk about things. Maybe first thing in the morning, either you decide before you get up from bed, there is a time that the two of you need to communicate, or maybe after the close of the day, you create a time that you, only the two of you have that time together. It depends on the couple. You need to create it before you can have it. That is also to add up to what he also said. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. JJ and Mama Naomi. I think Jamila wants to respond to what Mr. Yaya also said. It depends on the type of money you have. Some men don't have time for settlements. Others have. So I think you should know your man or woman very well, which will enable you to know the best time to chip in an effective communication. And then Elder Akwesi Ajimai just brought his comment. He said, Dickness Naomi, you look so beautiful with your hairstyle. I am enjoying the conversation very much. Elder, thank you so much. Elder is admiring your hairstyle. She says you look so beautiful.
Whoa, thank you.
That's true, you look so beautiful. Okay, Elder, thank you so much for your comment. Yes. So, listen, don't forget that we are talking of listen more effectively.
So
we might be listening more, but it's not
effective.
Because listening is
So it has to be effective listening. Yeah, even the Bible says faith cometh by hearing, and by hearing well. So hearing is very important. If you may have, or you can have, trust in your spouse, the kind of things that you say, the kind of things that you listen, how you say it, can even tell who you are. So I think one of the proverbs that Solomon wrote says, even when a fool shuts his mouth, we may consider him as a wise person.
So maybe that comes to buttress on the point that if maybe the person is saying something and not to speak, I decide to walk away so that I will not say something which will go. I think.
And if your spouse is bringing up something which you think it's too difficult for you to listen, you have to walking away a bit and come back.
We call that cooling time.
What? Cooling time.
You give it a cooling time.
Sometimes it's very, very
good. It's so good.
important.
You just don't want to create worsen the situation with your spouse.
But when you go out, you come back again.
Oh, definitely.
This
you come back and face
walking out, I just understood why the men get angry if the women walk out, because I think our brother there said it that we own the home.
Yes.
So who are you walking out on? So it is not accepted your husband to be talking and you should walk out.
Yeah.
Meaning a woman, we should develop a very big heart. We need to develop
because
a
if the
very
woman walks out,
God has created women as women. He has given us women. He has given us.
So.
Well, let me say something about the Japanese psychology.
Exactly.
My Japanese professor told me women thinking is 7 years ahead of men.
Wow, 7 years.
Yes.
Wow.
So, oh yes. So in fact, and he gave us a lot of analysis. So he suggested that if a man, you want to marry a woman that you are 7 years older than her.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yes, because
so that you match up.
You match up.
Really?
Well, it's true.
Oh, that's one. Yeah, but you are right. But most of the time, we the women, we don't know our wealth. We don't really know, so we look down upon ourselves.
So what should naturally, or maybe a Korea, yeah, I didn't know. Yes, it is. Or it means that's sin.
You are right.
Almost in everything. Why that? This is almost natural. So,
oh, but sometimes like 2 years, 3 years older than you.
No. I studied this one. Me Japanese professor came and studied. So, Oba no says 7 years the more. The one who say you can balance well.
Really?
Yes, because naturally,
we have to.
Am I not doing a doctor 7 years than men? Men, we can be creative, we can be smart, we can be bold, do things. But when it comes to processing, okay, when it comes to processing of the mind now, or the thoughts now, of course, women are 7 years ahead of us.
Yeah, I think we have to take a topic and develop educate our women because
we need to do more.
Do you know when you take this Bible, when we talk of wisdom, wisdom is likened to a woman. She, wisdom.
You know Solomon. He's a fan of women, so if she's right, she would have.
Yeah, so it is right. Most women.
most women, we don't know our worth. God has really deposited so much in us that most of the time, some people, we even end up not even realizing, even tapping 1% of the wealth God has deposited in us. So it is time we steady ourselves and know the wealth that God has deposited in us as women, to use it to build, not to destroy, because we are number one destroyers and we are number one builders. So we rather let's forgo the destroying part of a woman and take the building part. And if we focus on building things, we don't have competitors. We don't have competitors. No, we don't have it. That is who a woman is.
Let's family without a woman. How does it look like?
There cannot be a family without.
Yeah, that's why. Well, I learned it from my professor, and some religious experts also says the same thing. Yes, that women, when it comes to the processing of the mind, you are 7 years ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
It might be true. Women are sometimes smart in some issues, and we think more.
Of course you do. We're thinking of the child. We're thinking of the husband. What the husband will eat, what the child will eat, their school education, the house.
They say, as for a woman, all our everything is deposited in one box. If one is open, everything is open. That's why when there is misunderstanding, so many years things will just come in like that, because the whole thing is in a box. If you take out one, everything has come out like that.
All the old and the new ones.
No man should try to send the wife to court. how she will accuse you. She will rather take to be at fault.
As we are
listening, we need to also do well to listen more effectively.
We shouldn't be the advice givers. We should listen into it to see that this.
Sometimes when you need to give advice, you have to chip in. I tell you.
But as we said from the beginning, listen twice as much as you speak. Okay. So,
for instance, somebody like me, if I did something and you want to, talk about it, you must bring solutions. That's what I want. Like I did something wrong. What makes you see this thing as wrong? So as maybe you have seen, or I am talking to you, you listen. Okay, I think this one, right, in your eyes, it's okay for you, but I see that if it were me, I would have done this way. So you can try this way this time. Yeah. I like those kind of.
You are right.
Accepting that I did wrong, but you have another way to tell me that if I did it in this way, it would have been better than what I have done.
You are right.
But if you don't provide any solution by just complaining, you did it wrong, it's not right, you won't get me. I will just fly away. Yeah.
What we are talking about this advice giving, if the person is talking, you need to listen. Maybe wait for the person to finish. Maybe another way is to avoid giving advice with maybe the other person. That particular moment doesn't need advice. It just needs yes. So maybe in that case, you can in this situation, what do you think should be? You are there, for example, maybe I'm complaining about my school, about someone that I have already have trouble with in my school, and I'm telling you, so now, after listening, maybe, so what do you think should be the way forward? So I feel that, you really listen to me. You are really concerned about me. But just jumping into conclusion that you should do this, you should do that, you shouldn't do this.
Money comes,
what do we think we can do? I have listened to you. You might have a hard time, but how do you think we can handle this? And maybe the interrupter. we have to try as much as possible to listen to understand, not to listen to reply. Some of us, we are with that habit. We listen just to reply, not to understand exactly what the person is saying. And some people too, they listen. Some maybe have brought a problem. They don't stop to listen to the whole issue, but they try to reassure the reassurer. It's a whole lot. It's a skill that we need to learn. Yeah, we have to listen twice as much as we speak.
Wow. Listen twice as much as we speak. Mommy said that's the reason why God has given us 2 days. So one listen, another listen before the mouth speaks. Yeah, so we have to listen twice.
My sister, let me chip in one thing.
We will run up because the time is almost up. And okay, just conclude with your chip in.
Yeah. There's what is the kanji of listening like?
Maybe it's like ichi, ni, san, shigo.
Listen, so it's talking about the and so I learned the Chinese character of listening, or it talks about the eyes, the ears, the mouth, like all joined together.
Yeah, when you see this thing, the ears is different. Oh no.
Yeah,
it's the same because when you take off this, it becomes like the me. Because Mimi has 3 and the long one. So when you take off, when you erase the long line, the 3 becomes the eye.
Yes, and one becomes
and the mouth. When you erase and it's left with the one. Yeah, it's true.
So it means listening. Listening means it's not only just so all the sense, the eyes is involved, the ear is involved, the mouth is involved. So it is a whole lot. Listening is a whole. It is fully packed. Yeah.
Fully packed.
So it is
as
a skill.
Mama Naomi saying, it's a skill. So married couple, we need to learn this skill very well and stop making our mobile phones being our husbands and wives. That we listen to, we watch, we do all sorts of things, ignoring our partners. It's not helping. So let's do our best to have effective communication and effective listening when other parties brought up issues. All right, Mr. Lichi, you give us your final word. And then
the same thing.
I think Elder Juman has also brought a very long. Right, so just finish.
Just listening, like the Dickney said, have to listen twice. Not necessarily on the same spot. You listen and you say, come again. But it's like you listen, process it. If possible, ask the person, did I hear you saying this? By confirming the content of what that person has said. Then you process it to make sure you understand it very well. And so now, what you talk about? So we say, when Pakumo say you are giving him attention, that means you are listening to him. And I've said it earlier on too. Don't forget that listening to you is educate, chief. If you are in the course of you processing it, you come across somewhere within unknown statement. Now, strike your attention to learn something different before you come. Listening twice is effective, and so you try to process it. You ask questions on what that person has said. Make sure you understand it well before you respond.
One sister shared a story, and I was so much impressed. Said the chief in her town, the man has so much wisdom that when he judges a case, everyone knows that this is a true, judgment. And he said, anytime there is a situation and the other parties are talking, he will just close his eye. You may think that he's sleeping. He closes his eye, not knowing that he's thinking deep. and meditate on what to say, what judgment he has to bring out. And when he opened his eyes and begin to come out with a judgment, no one can argue about the judgment that has come. So sometimes listen effectively, get attentively. Though
This is Jafric Radio.
You open your eye, but if you are listening and listening well, any counsel after that might be a very good one. Yeah. So not just like interrupting us when just as it's coming up, just bring it up. It will not go into help. So let me also read what Elder Ajimai brought. Oh, Jamila said, now my Lord. Yeah. Okay, like my says, why effective communication answers most of the problems associated with the marriage. The wrong use of it could generate arguments that may chip away your affections. What are the tips for effective communication? Be intentional about spending time together. Use more statements. Use I statement and less you statement. Be specific. Avoid mind reading. Express negative feelings constructively. Listen without being defensive. Freely express positive feelings.
Very true.
Listen without being defensive. Sometimes that one it happens to many. Just as you are. Media, I'm not like that. That's not. I am just back. There are certain times you have to listen. Yeah, you have to listen. Right. Okay. So viewers, I think we have gone overboard. Yeah. Our time is up, and I know you've learned a lot about this. So if you are hearing us and you have problems, communication problems in your marriage, just listen to. You can play back what we have just said, and just take notes on the things that are going to help you in your marriage. Okay, so I think we want to end here for today for Home Sweet Home program. I said don't forget that Bayside Modeling Agency and Turmeric Hotel sponsored this program. And if you are out there and you want to sponsor any part of it, you can choose to sponsor clothes for Mama.
Really?
Okay, and also African print. It will be nice. And also we need more sponsors, especially things that can push this program forward. So if you are out there and you want to sponsor at any point in time, feel free to contact Jafric Radio, and we'll be very glad to receive you of that. All right. Okay, so we are coming to the close of this session, and I think we have Pentecost Hour, if I'm right. Next one is social affairs. Yeah, social affairs comes next. I think the next 30 minutes or 6 o'clock. Social affairs comes. So please just go away a little and come back. Social affairs are very hot issues. We discuss very, very hot issues. Okay, so we will just end here for today. So don't forget to listen more effectively in your marriage. I just want to thank Mr. Jichi for making time for this program and the wonderful advice, wonderful submissions that he has made. Mr. Jichi, thank you so very much. And our able mama, today your hairstyle, it has catch more attention. So please, next time, make it more. Yeah, Mama. No, thank you so very much.
Thank you too for having me.
I told you that she is a woman of wisdom. Thank you for always being there for your people. My name is Abnaboma Pokufufu, a woman with a long name. You can call me the best woman if you like. I am your host for this program today. And also we have Mr. DJ Clemson, the only inspector in this room. One. So policeman. Okay? Right. And we have Mr. Kobe as our producer and the executive producer, the CEO, Nana Yao. Any. You can call him Pops and say or Pop. Until we meet again next week, we say sayonara.
Goodbye.
Hi guys, you are watching Jafric Radio. I am Abdullah from Ethiopia. Jafric Radio ni የተመለከታችሁ ነው። ይመቻችሁ። አበበ ነኝ ከኢትዮጵያ።
ẹ káàárọ̀ ẹ káàsán ẹ káalẹ́ orúkọ tèmi ni ọmọdọ́lá oyeyemi ọmọ bíbí ìlú Ìbàdàn. Jafric Radio lẹ́ ń wò yìí o, ẹ múra sí i, ṣe púpọ̀.
Are you an African living in Japan? Do you have a story to share about your experiences in this fascinating country? Join Emmanuel Atrekun on One Africa, One World on Jafric Radio, the program that connects Africans in Japan and shares their unique stories, from immigration issues to cultural shocks and from racial challenges to unforgettable moments. We will explore it all. Tune in every fortnight to hear inspiring, thought-provoking and sometimes humorous conversations about life as an African in Japan. Don't miss One Africa, One World on Jafric Radio, the voice of Africans in Japan. One Africa, One World on Jafric Radio.
I went to the train station. I wanted to take train. So there was this lady. She was looking at me. So I was thinking, like, okay, I think this is the best person to ask this question. Like, please, where is this? Where should I drop? The funniest part is that the way she ran, I think I have gone. Just like you have a child here, they are here, and they cannot go anywhere. So even if you want to take them to your country, it's going to be a big problem because of your wife might not accept. The Japanese lady might not accept it because here it's called that ladies they are the owner of children. They have more power. I forgot my wallet in the train station, inside the train. Before I even get to my house, because it was like 5 to 6 minutes walk to my house, my club called me that, hey, you forgot your wallet in the train. I was like, no, I didn't. How? I didn't. They said, you forgot it, so I have to check my bag. It was not there. So they said, okay, you get it tomorrow. It was wrapped in the paper bag, pray for me. It was like, wow. When I was in Shizuoka, from the hotel, we take the bus is warm, go to training. After training, take the bus back to the hotel. So no bicycle. But yeah, it's a bicycle. After training, like, your hand is freezing.
One Africa, One